Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show. I'm Marc Abrams. This is episode number 68. This show is powered by theboxinghour.com, boxing's #1 website for news, commentary, and up-to-the-minute results, plus some great videos. Speaking of video, also check out Abrams Boxing on YouTube for great interviews and boxing content. We were supposed to have a guest this week, Mydell Sando, who was originally scheduled to fight this Tuesday night in Nashville, Tennessee. His fight has been postponed due to a hand injury. We'll get more on to that card later in the show. Get right to it. Unbeaten #2 ranked DC super welterweight in the world, Vergil Ortiz, went to 22-0 with 21 knockouts as he captured the WBC interim super welterweight championship by winning a 12-round majority decision over Serhii Bohachuk. Bohachuk now 24-2. That fight took place last Saturday night, the Michelob Ultra Arena inside the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Was a terrific fight on the short list for Fight of the Year. Ortiz was dropped twice in the fight. With the first one, they were both legit knockdowns. They weren't hard knockdowns, but his glove hit the canvas in the first one, was hit by a left hook, a good left hook that rocked him and sent him down for a second knockdown. Ortiz rallied very well down the stretch to be able to make this fight a close fight. If you go on Twitter over the last week, a lot of people thought Bohachuk won. A lot of people thought Ortiz won. But it was a great fight, and hopefully at some point we'll see a rematch. I know they're talking about maybe Ortiz and Terrence Crawford now for a unification of the WBC if Vergil Ortiz gets elevated to the full status right now as the interim champion. But like I said, it was a great fight. Like I said, Bohachuk got the knockdown in round number 1, knockdown in round number 8. Ortiz came back, like I said, furiously down the stretch. Scores were 113, 113, 114, 112 for Vergil Ortiz. And like I said, even though it was the first fight, he didn't get a knockout in. He looked very good in the fight, especially fighting against some adversity, really for the first time in his career. And, that's what, fans want to see. How is it when he's hurt, when he's rocked, when he's this, when he's that? Vergil Ortiz passed that with flying colors and always must-see TV. I think even added to his growing legend as a fighter. Saturday night, Angelo Leo became the IBF featherweight champion with a sensational one-punch left hook knockout over Luis Alberto Lopez. Again, wins the IBF featherweight title. Leo now 25. 112 knockouts. He won the fight in his hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Leo he was the better man all night, and he systematically and slowly broke Bernardo Lopez down. Finally, that left hook in round number 11 ended things, and that was it for Bernardo Lopez. As he had a real good run as a champion. I think he made 3 or 4 defenses, went on the road, beat a couple guys in England. And, he reestablished himself. I remember him a few years ago, a fighter, Ruben Villa defeated him a few years ago. And Lopez actually was the guy who wound up winning the world title and making a few successful defenses. So Angelo Leo now, he'll be in line for some big fights. Maybe he'll fight the winner of the rumored rematch with Robeisy Ramirez and that's this year. Friday night, unbeaten flyweight Angel Ayala, 18-0, notched his 8th knockout as he stopped Dave Apolinario in round 6 to win the IBF flyweight championship in Mexico City. So new flyweight champion is Angel Ayala. Over in the Olympics, heavyweight contender Bakhtar Jalolov, who's 14-0, 14 knockouts, won his 2nd consecutive gold medal as he was fighting for his home country, Uzbekistan, in Paris, France. He defeated Irub Gaddafi. I guess it was Richard Torres who was the guy he defeated for the last Olympics. So Bakhtar Jalolov is now a 2-time Olympic gold medal winner, and he'll be back to go on his 14-0, 14 knockout record, see if he can continue to stay undefeated and become a legitimate heavyweight contender, which he definitely has all the tools to do that. This week's big fights are on ESPN Saturday night in Quebec City, where the WBC's #1, WBA #2, IBF #3, and WBO #3 super middleweight in the world, Christian Mbilli, 27-0, 23 knockouts, will defend the WBC Continental Americas title against three-time world title challenger Serhii Derevyanchenko, 15-5, 10 knockouts. And Billy, this should be a really good fight because Derevyanchenko, even though he's got the 5 losses, he's never really, probably 2 or 3 of those losses should have been wins, including the fight against Gennady Golovkin several years back. Don't let the 5 losses of Derevyanchenko fool you. He still has a lot left in the tank. We saw the Munguia fight last year, which was an amazing fight. Even though he didn't get the hand raised in that fight, he showed he still has a lot left. He had a win on the Haney Garcia fight back in April in Brooklyn. But I like Mbilli. I think Mbilli will be the first one to really crack the code of Serhii Derevyanchenko. Christian Mbilli, knockout somewhere between rounds 7 and 9 Saturday night in Quebec City. The co-feature will be WBC's #11 ranked heavyweight Arslanbek Makhmudov, 19-1, 18 knockouts, trying to shake off the knockout loss to Agit Caballo last year in Saudi Arabia. He'll take on Guido Villanello, 12-2-1, 10 knockouts. I think Makhmudov gets rid of Villanello within the first 6 rounds. I think it could be a shootout for a while, but Makhmudov and Mbilli by knockout Saturday night in Quebec City. Some news of the week. Top Rank has signed featherweight prospect Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez. Gonzalez 10-0, 6 knockouts. He's trained by Robert Garcia. He had a win on the Angelo card against Lopez in Albuquerque, a 3rd-round stoppage over Damian Alcala. I think he's a pretty good prospect. I was very impressed what I saw him. If Top Rank is going to sign you, they think highly of you. Junior Union will be back in action. He was 20-0-1 with 12 knockouts. He'll take on with another undefeated fighter, Luslam Bardrami. That place will take place on September 14th at the Paramount in Long Island, New York, in Huntington, Long Island, New York. It'll be for the WBA Continental American Gold Crown, and Bardrami will be making his United States debut. Undefeated WBO #2, WBC #9 ranked junior lightweight in the world, Andres Cortez, 22-0, 12 knockouts, will take on Charlie Suarez, another undefeated fighter who's WBO #6 and IBF #6. Maybe this turns into some kind of eliminator for the WBOs. We got 2 and 6 going at it. That will take place on September 20th as a part of the before mentioned Jaime Munguia, Eric Bazanian card in Glendale, Arizona. So that should be a interesting fight. The televised 8-round fight will pit Emiliano Fernando Vargas, 11-0, 9 knockouts, taking on Larry Friars, who's a gritty fighter from Ireland who's been living in New York, 13-6-1, 5 knockouts. So I think it's maybe a little bit of a step up for Vargas, and I think he comes through with flying colors. But, Friars usually hangs in there, and he's been known to spring an upset in his day. Unbeaten WBA featherweight champion Nick Ball, 20 Rios. That will take place October 5th in Liverpool, England. Rios 34-4, 17 knockouts. Also, former unified world champion Stephen Fulton, who hopefully we will get an interview with next week to be part of the show. 21-1, 8 knockouts. He'll take on Carlos Castro, 30-2, 14 knockouts. That will be part of the free Amazon portion of the Canelo Alvarez Edgar Berlanga fight, September 14th in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. It's be Fulton's first fight back since his loss to Naoya Inoue about a year ago. So we will see what Stephen Fulton will have to offer coming off the first loss, now moving up to featherweight. There'll be 2 other fights come on that same part of the card, the Amazon, the regular Amazon Prime Video card before the pay-per-view. Roman Villa, who we saw fight Jerron Boots Ennis, 26-2, 24 knockouts. He'll take on Ricardo Salas, 19-2, 14 knockouts, and opening up the telecast will be Jonathan Lopez, 16-0, 12 knockouts, taking on Richard Medina, 15-2, 8 knockouts in an 8-round featherweight contest. Tuesday night in Nashville, Tennessee, I'll be behind the microphone for Country Box 20. Main event, we will have Dion Hale, who's a trial horse, taking on Curtis Harper. A couple of women's fights. Lindsay Ellis, who's a popular fighter down in the Nashville area. That'll be live on Triller TV. Also, USA Today Sports, USA Today regular streaming service as well. Also, Abrams Boxing on YouTube. We will also be streaming the fight live. Wednesday night in Florida, we'll have a terrific fight between Jarrett Hurd and Jason Rosario, a battle of undefeated junior middleweight, former unified junior middleweight champion. So that'll be live on ProBox TV this Wednesday night. Short show this week. We've got 11, 12 minutes in. Just want to thank everyone for joining us in, and we'll be back next week, hopefully with a whole bunch of interviews looking at Stephen Fulton, Danny Garcia on for next week. Hope everyone has a good week and enjoy the fights this weekend.